Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Fernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are welcome in the essence. This broadcast, Brownstone, the light is contagious. But you need go on and receive it for yourself. Just open it, exuberant, evolution, excited. We standing on the foundation of expression. You might have seen, you might have been, or you could have gravitated. Our foundation, we want to create a space for all to collaborate and be liberated from eventually all over the globe. And we are extending a hand to those who are an extension from maybe platforms, dig into another stratosphere. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Fernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. And that is MSG, the message in the message. I can OD on my execution of excellency. And this as a man right now, and things aren't created, but see true.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the night shift. I'm Paulette. Welcome. I'm the owner and founder of Brownstone Worldwide, Cityscape Radio, and Brownstone Living Magazine. And tonight, Brownstone Living Magazine for the month of June has dropped. I'm going to be sharing the cover with you guys on TikTok, on Meta, on YouTube, also on LinkedIn, and also on, where else am I? Substack. We're also going to be sharing it on Substack as well. And don't forget also, if you are a paid subscriber to Brownstone Worldwide, you already have the full digital copy. Okay, you already have it. If you are a paying customer for the physical copy, yours should be to you by the end of the week. Yes, there are physical copies as well, but you do pay for that. Okay, all right. Now, welcome. This is not new. I used to do this back in the day, but honey, I would be in the kitchen and stuff. And I ain't got it in me like that anymore. But listen, we're going to get into some news and information. I'm not cooking. My daughter's cooking. And we're going to get into all of the things for about an hour because I have some other things that I need to wrap up before tomorrow. I'm going to go and check out another podcast studio. And y'all, I got my fingers crossed. Got my fingers crossed for this one. Because I gotta get it out of here. All right. Let's get into what is happening right now. Did you all know? Yes, chasing the truth. I'm with you on that one. We fingers crossed. Listen, the big beautiful bill moves forward. I don't know if any of you all are keeping up with that, but it is in the Senate. You know, it had to pass the House. Now it has to pass the Senate. So one of the things that Trump wants to do is he wants to push for a July 4th deadline for big tax bill as senators are actually digging in. So let's talk a little bit about what is going on, because we definitely need to know this so that as we wrap up the evening and whatnot, I'm not trying to inundate you guys with a ton of news because the day is full of a ton of daggone news. So President Donald Trump wants his big, beautiful bill of tax breaks and spending cuts on his desk to be signed into law by the 4th of July. And he's pushing the slow rolling Senate to make it happen sooner rather than later. Now, he's actually met with the Senate Majority Leader John Thune at the White House earlier this week, which was probably Monday or today, and has been dialing senators for one-on-one chats, asking both the carrot and stick to nudge, badger, and encourage them to act. But it's still a long road ahead for the 1,000 plus page package. If you do not have a copy of it, I do have a copy of it available on my Substack. but you can always just go over to, I think it actually has its own website. When I find it, when I think of it, if anybody has that link, feel free to share that with us. But the package is it's actually available. Okay. And you can go ahead and get your copy, and you need to read it for yourself. Okay. Some people are actually doing breakdowns. I've done a simple basic breakdown. I'll do that again tonight with everyone, so you're familiar. If you don't follow me during the morning, the day shift, hey boss baby, how are you? I'll go ahead and I will kind of do a recap of the bill. So Josh Hawley of Missouri said that Trump called him, and his question to me was, how do you think the big bill is going to go in the Senate? Do you think there's going to be any problems? It's a potentially tumultuous 3-week sprint for senators preparing to put their own imprint on the massive Republican package that cleared the House late last month by a single vote. A single vote. Senators have been meeting for weeks behind closed doors, including as they returned to Washington late Monday to revise the package ahead of what is expected to be a similarly narrow vote in the Senate. One single vote, yes. Passing the one big beautiful bill is a historic opportunity, quote, to turn our country around. That's what Donald Trump is saying. I absolutely disagree with that, but he's posted that on his social media. And he's urging senators, as of yesterday, to work as fast as they can to get that bill to his desk before the 4th of July. So let's talk about what's in the big beautiful bill, shall we? I want to talk about what's in the big beautiful bill so that you can get an idea. And then, of course, as always, people want to call soon as I go live, and y'all see me going live. I know you see me. You know how I know? Because you pop in the room. You pop in the room. All right. So let me just say, let them know I'm live. Because why do y'all do that? I don't understand. Okay. Here we go. It's so frustrating. Hang on, y'all. Isn't this a mess? Oh, I gotta use my tablet to talk to him. Okay, here we go. Okay, now let's talk about that. Yep, call your senators, let people know, and then I drop my planner. Y'all know me and my planner. So let me just clean up my little mess real quick. Get in touch with your senators, call them, use the app, whatever you need to do. Get in touch with people, let them know. Let's talk about what's in this bill, shall we? Hey, Carla, be the one. Welcome back. So let's talk about it. I actually have it up. I want to share with you guys. I tried to kind of congeal them, condense them together so we could go over them. And I did this like last week or the week before. I forget when it was. What day was this? May 26th was when I did it. All right. So a couple things. Let's talk about social programs. Social programs. For those of you all who are on Meta, thank you so much for joining us. Social programs and welfare. Section 10008. If this is not for you, continue to keep scrolling. One of your senators said it's okay for us to did you see that? And we're all gonna die. Have fun. And you're on disability, boss baby. So let's talk about this. So social programs and welfare. Who deserves to eat? SNAP work requirements have been requirements are expanded. What does that mean? More low-income families will now have to meet strict work requirements or standards to receive food assistance, including single mothers. Did you hear what I said? Including single mothers. Didn't y'all just cut the pre-K program? Oh, okay, yeah. Part-time workers and students. My oldest child, when she was in college, guess how much food stamps she was getting a month? Lily, you remember that? When Tamika was getting food stamps? A little bit. Oh, you were so small. $10 a month. Vote her out. Yes. She was getting $10 a month. She was living with her dad at the time when she was in school. And she was, yeah. What's she going to do with $10? Okay. So you're going to have to prove through, are you doing any work? Are you working XYZ? Yeah, $10 a month. Why it matters. Up to 3 million people could be kicked off of food assistance programs. No aid for immigrants, section 10012. What this means, immigrant families, even some who are legally here, are now barred from receiving SNAP. I don't blame you, Carol Sue. Undocumented immigrants, here's why this matters. Undocumented immigrants already can't access federal aid, contrary to what some people believe. But this broadens restrictions affecting mixed families. So, sometimes you may have an undocumented immigrant who is living with a family member. It would literally impact the entire family who may be receiving any kind of support from receiving support. Healthcare access, a shrinking lifeline. Medicaid work requirements. Yes, you heard that right. Medicaid work requirements. What this means, states must require Medicaid recipients to prove they're working or search for work. Wait a minute. What if you're already working and you don't make enough? So you need Medicaid. What if you're on disability? What if you're in a nursing home? Why this matters? It's stripping health coverage from the unemployed, underemployed, and those unable to navigate the burdensome bureaucracy. All the paperwork, all the things. You're going to get frustrated, and you know what you're going to do? Man, forget this. I'll just have to go without. Gender affirming care ban, section 44125. What it means, blocks federal funds for gender transition related care for minors. It doesn't give them the surgery. It's gender transition related care. Why it matters. It limits access to life-saving affirming care, disproportionately impacting trans youth and their families. Restricts retroactive and expanded Medicaid, sections 44122 and 44131. I hope some of you guys are either writing this down or you're recording it or you're doing screenshot, whatever you need to do. But I did do like a 9-minute piece that I'm going to load later. What this means, no more, listen closely, folks, especially for those of you all who are on presumptive Medicaid for pregnancy. This is for you. What it means, no more backdated coverage. And no incentive for states to expand Medicaid either. Why this matters. This is actually starting to be the beginning of the end of the Affordable Care Act. And they're going to do it quickly. Okay? The Affordable Care Act is known as what? Obamacare. It's really trying to get rid of it with this big, beautiful bill. For those of you all who are just now joining, we're going over some of the main points that I've kind of highlighted in my reading about what the big, beautiful bill is all about. If you are just now coming into the room, it is important for you to understand exactly what this is and how it will impact you so you are fully aware before you call your senators. Because it's in the Senate, folks. It's there. They're talking about it. Now, remember, the GOP has the Senate and the House. It has passed the House, and it passed by one vote. What needs to happen is it does not need to pass the Senate. But they have, listen closely, both the Senate and the House. Here's the thing. Listen to what Cheryl just said. With no plans in place for those people needing medical supplies and healthcare. Let's talk about that briefly, and I'm glad that you brought that up. So, if you're cutting Medicaid to the tune of what you are, what happens to our hospitals and clinics and nursing homes and therapist centers who literally are doing what they're able to do because Medicaid is in place? They're going to close down. So people in rural communities will not be able to get access to the healthcare that they need. Make sense? That's exactly what's getting ready to happen. Because think about it. If you get rid of Medicaid, Medicaid literally is being billed by these hospitals in these small areas, mainly red areas, folks. excuse me, in red areas, and if they're not able to pay the bills, if they can't afford to keep the doctor in position, of course it's going to shut down. That's exactly what's going to happen. You can't afford it, cuz. Can't afford it. Isn't that right? That's exactly what's going to happen. Let's talk about the Trump accounts and market-based welfare, section 110115. What it means: introduces private savings accounts for children called MAGA or Trump accounts. Think, I want to be like Obamacare, because that's what this is giving. Okay? I want to one-up him. Call your senators. Yes, call them. Let them know that you do not want this to pass and you understand exactly what this bill means to you, the American people. That's why this is so important. It's $1,000. That's all it is. It's $1,000 that's going to be set up for children, savings accounts when they're first born. Hey, Yvonne, how are you? And what happens is over time you can add to it. Here's how come this is an issue and why this matters. It's not about helping the kids and more about reducing public support systems. These accounts favor families that can already afford to get into it and to continue to pay into it. What about families that are just trying to get by? Hey, Bobby Lee, how are you? Let's talk about the environment, shall we? This bill guts decades of environmental protection, just like that, in one fell swoop. It's dismantling the EPA. Let's go back to what we talked about this morning. Didn't we talk about Boxtown in Memphis, Tennessee? Hold on just a minute. Dismantling. It repeals the Clean Air Act provisions, sections 42108. It removes EPA enforcement on vehicle emissions, sections 42301. You thought you had smog in major cities. Ends climate justice grants, sections 42117. Defunds national parks and restoration, sections 80307 through 80309. Want to know why these are important? Bingo, boss baby. More dirty air. Oh, but there's more. This actually opens up public lands for drilling. Reduces clean energy incentives and fast tracks, you ready? Fossil fuel expansion. Remember this phrase? Drill, baby, drill. And the issue is we know that when we don't have specific things in place like the EPA, things like what Elon Musk is doing in Boxtown, Memphis, Tennessee, to this Black community with these 33 turbine engines that are up and running without permits, it impacts that community. And because they don't have the financial backing of tax dollars, because no one in this community is making over $40,000 per annum, guess what happens? They do not have the political power or strength to do anything about it. There is nobody that is sitting at these tables talking for them on their behalf. They cannot afford it. There is no PAC or super PAC for these people to pay into. Do you see what's happening? And Elon made sure that he gutted the EPA because there's nobody to hold him accountable for the permitless turbine engines that are running Colossus, which is his AI, XAI, that runs Grok. The rich in control. No one to lobby for them. Bingo. Exactly, Carla. That's why this is so important. Defense and border. Let's talk about that. Hey, Kayshawn, welcome back. $350 billion for, quote, readiness. Military expansion, section 20001. What it means, it's a massive boost for defense spending, including funds earmarked for the Indo-Pacific and U.S.-Mexico border. Why this matters? Prioritizes military buildup over domestic investment. What just happened last week that I reported on? What just happened? Anybody remember? I remember they shut down Job Corps and AmeriCorps, didn't they? Oh, yes. All right. Why this matters? Again, prioritizes military buildup over domestic investment while leaving, sit down, because I just said it, schools, healthcare, and infrastructure underfunded. All right, moving on. Executive power. Now, this was just talked about today. Federal agency control, sections 30051 and 30061. What this is, executive agencies can no longer issue rules without strict cost-heavy reviews. Secretary of Education is blocked from making new rules. It will destroy us on multiple levels, yes. Why it matters. This actually consolidates power under the president. They are talking about what this is really removing the judicial powers of judges on federal and state levels. Everything would fall directly under the president, and he would be the one to make the rules and do what the hell he wants. It will reduce agency independence and public accountability. Limit state authority. I just said that. Ban states from regulating. I need y'all to sit. Yes. Oh, you got it, boss baby. You picked up on that? That's what that would mean. And we already know he's not in control. We talked about that. Who is? Peter Thiel, Stephen Miller. IEP coach on TikTok in Louisiana gives instructions for students to get GED at libraries. I love it. Thank you for that, Cheryl. Hey, Frederick, how are you? Let's talk about limiting state authority, sections 44001. We talked heavily about this today. We actually ended the morning show with this. Ban states from regulating AI for 10 years. Why? Why this matters. Federal overreach overrides local innovation and protections, especially in fast-moving tech fields like AI. AI already knows how to reason. AI has already defied being shut down. If you give it a command to shut down, it will refuse. It already knows how to discern and make decisions on its own without you. We talked about that today. And how my daughter literally sat here and told me last night about why my resume was being overlooked. You don't even get to talk to a human being anymore. Everything is automated and it's through AI. Watch war games. You know, I could never get into war games. I guess I'm going to have to sit down and watch it, huh? Civil service, loyalty over merit. So I guess you all heard that people that want to work in the federal government now, they have to take a loyalty exam. Well, yes. Here's what it means. Firing career employees at will, sections 90004, Schedule F. What it means, federal workers can be fired without cause, like an at-will state. Basically, what this means is this. It opens the door for them to replace nonpartisan public servants with political loyalists. I hate to have y'all leave here with headaches, but you have to know what's going on. Oh, yeah, Carla. Carla said, hell no. Yeah. Isn't that a hot mess? Hot mess. Hot. Yep. Let me say it again, because I don't think y'all understand. They've already gotten rid of all of these people, right? Every department just about got gutted unnecessarily because they didn't save us any money. Because the money they said that they were saving, they paid it to him and these folks that are in this little group called Doge, and we didn't see a change, did we? Get your papers together, took a country and act accordingly. I'm just saying. Why you roll your eyes like that? Like, oh my God. I mean, it's the truth. My daughter's like, oh my God. Facts. Facts. Hey, Maureen. Think Watergate on steroids. Legal oversight. It silences the courts. Gutting watchdogs. No more consumer protection. Section 50003. Your right eye is twitching, girl. Let me tell you. What it means. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is defamed. Take its power away. You know it was actually put in position to hold banks accountable for predatory lending. Now big banks are going to face less oversight. I'm not even going to tell y'all these are checks that I have not cashed this past. I'm like, where are all them checks? Let me go ahead and cash them. So I'm cleaning up while I'm talking to you all. Why it matters. Okay, so no court oversight of environmental permits. Isn't that what just happened to Elon Musk, y'all? Ain't that what happened? Courts are stripped of the power to review drilling and mining permits. Big oil can now act with near impunity. They can do what the hell they want, where they want, how they want, and nobody is going to stop them. Now let's talk about where each side stands. Republican supporters are saying this is a victory for freedom, prosperity, and American values. We're putting more money in people's pockets and cutting red tape. How sway? Republican critics warn we're adding trillions to the national debt with no offsets, Representative Thomas Massey says. This was rushed and balanced. So the Democrats and the liberals are on the left saying, on the other side going, it's a blueprint for authoritarianism and a gut punch to working families. Project 2025 is no longer a theory. Remember, they said it didn't exist. They said it didn't exist, right? Mr. Global? No. Is he on TikTok? I love y'all. Y'all always coming with the information. And let me be clear when I say I'm not bragging. This is so I can pay my team. I was like, oop, that didn't even sound right. These are not checks like that. This is incoming for people that pay for the services so I can pay my people. And I was looking for, I had like 2 I couldn't find. I was like, oh, am I going to have enough? That's the stuff about business they don't tell you. All right. First thing that I'm going to encourage, hey, Yolanda, how are you? Come on in. Here's the first thing that we need to do. Read the daggone bill. Don't take my word for it. Read it. Read it. Okay? You can get the whole thing at waysandmeans.house.gov. And the one big beautiful bill is there. And it's like a breakdown. It's well over 1,000 pages, y'all. The Supreme Court is going after Board versus Brown of Education. Let's look that up. Let's talk about it right now. I don't even want, listen, stuff like that, we need to talk about right now. Because I know this is important, but that is too. Because can I go here? And this is no offense to you if you are not Black and brown, if you are not of African American descent, if your family was not officially impacted by the freeing of the slaves in a positive manner, 1865, this may not be for you, but it is. We said, and I've heard people say it, my folks is next. So if they're coming for Brown versus the Board of Education, let's look it up. I'm definitely going to check out. I'm definitely going to check it out. All right, so let's look at if it's in the news. Because I hadn't heard about that one. So y'all know I like to look it up right on the spot and see if I can find it. If I can't, I'll come back and I'll do a piece on it. For real. Now y'all gonna have me going to look up Mr. Global like right now. You can't do that. Yeah, so let's talk about this. Texas and Florida. So Cheryl, it's this month or next month, you believe? I'll look it up and I'll see, because normally it'll pop right up for me if I haven't looked for it. Hey Cutter, how are you? Listen, y'all, this is real stuff out here. I'm gonna try it one more time. It is up for review, but it's not giving me much of anything. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit more digging and some other sources. Make some phone calls to some folks. It is up for review. Look at that. Y'all mad yet? Thank you, boss baby. I appreciate you. You should be real. You should be hot as fish grease. You should be mad. But not only should you be angry, you should say, what do we do? And we talk about that often here. You're constantly mad. Let's take that energy and do something with it. Seriously. So we want to contact our senators and our other representatives on all levels. Now you can head over to the Senate website and you can reach out to them, leave your messages, do whatever you need to do. Go to congress.gov. And you can also go and do the same thing for the senators. Working for the Dems this weekend at Pride Festival. Are you really? Colin said, what we supposed to be mad at now? We just went over just a brief overview of the big, beautiful bill which made it to the Senate this week. Can we be clear on one thing? All seats in the House and the Senate are up for re-election. Hey, Deals with Nia, welcome. I need y'all to, but like you said though, Kayshawn, it's not just about flipping stuff, right? It's not about that. It's literally about finding out who has the American people's best interests at heart. And that's not happening right now. Because the GOP has the House and the Senate. That's why I'm really, really, really pushing for us to make those calls to our senators. We need to let it be known how we feel about this bill, because it's almost as if they're not blind. Someone said it best, that they're scared to go against anything that this guy is doing. And we already know what sundowning looks like. We talked about that. We know that his social media is a perfect example of what is happening, the delusion of grandeur, the up night, all night long, thinking of things to talk about, like talking about Biden is a clone. I'm not even going to say the other thing. I got to be careful on what I say when I'm live now. It's late. Hey, Angie T. Hey, girl. Good to see you. Thank you for all of the messages that you send me. Yes, I do look at them. There will come a day that they will be held accountable for that. It is so good to see you. How's the recovery? I said I was going to come on at 5:30. Ooh, child, my schedule just couldn't allow for it, but I'm here. Dear God, we're here. And I can't stay on long. But yeah, so what time zone am I in? I'm in the East. I'm Georgia, East Coast. Why are people adding me? Yeah. You're doing better? Good. Excellent. Good. What we've been talking about tonight, if you were just now joining us, is we did a quick overview of the big beautiful bill. And I think the other one that I did was a little bit more detailed than that. It's on my Substack. If you are interested in reading it for yourself, because what I did was, you're Pacific. Okay, yeah. So we have all kind of folks in here, just out here. We just talking and chopping it up real quick and learning all of the things. Now, remember what we talked about with Elon Musk? Let's talk about that briefly, shall we? Because I'm a little bit thrown off. How all of a sudden you mad? I'm sorry. How all of a sudden are you upset about the big beautiful bill? Anybody familiar with that? So today, in the past couple of days, Elon Musk has been very, very vocal about how he feels about the big beautiful bill. He is saying things like it's a mess. It is, let's see. I'm just pull it up. He went on X. I don't even have X. That's what he need to do. We're going to talk about reparations today too. So he's been attacking and talking about the big beautiful bill. Tech mogul Elon Musk went on a tirade today against President Donald Trump's marquee One Big Beautiful Bill Act days after leaving the administration, ripping the legislation as an abomination and condemning lawmakers who supported it. He says, I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore, he said. And that's what he wrote on his X platform. So I'm sure that you guys, if you're on social media at all, you've probably already seen the post that he did. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it. So the 53-year-old added in subsequent posts that the bill will massively increase already gigantic budget deficit to $2.5 trillion and burden American citizens with crushingly unsustainable debt. In the third post, Musk grossed that Congress is making America bankrupt. You're glad he said something? That's my point too, Carol Sue. If he can kill the bill, I'm all for it. But I don't trust nothing that comes out his mouth. Me too, Carol Sue. I'd love to give him a matching eye and be like, it's a whole lot I could say, baby. But the American people have already let it be known how they feel about what is happening and how this unelected official has literally, from another country, not born here, literally came in and did whatever he wanted to do, wielding a chainsaw. And he was excited about it. Y'all, he was happy to do that. Deflections of a Muskrat. Ooh, that sounds like a real good book. Think about that. Deflections of a Muskrat. I'm disappointed. Hey guys, for those of you all who are watching on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us today. If you have comments, go ahead and put those in the chat because I can see them. Okay. Hey Twitch, same to you as well. Okay, so yeah, we've been talking, if you're just now joining us, we've been talking about the big beautiful bill. I was sharing some of the pros and cons. There are no pros basically at this point. And how it can impact us and how it will impact us, right? If you want to actually read that post itself in its entirety, you can go over to my Substack and subscribe. I am Paulette on the mic. And we do these things like once or twice a day called the Brownstone Brief, which is like a mashup of news, of business and what's happening around the world, and not just what's happening in Congress. Because y'all, we need to know what else is happening around the world as well. Okay. So we talked about Elon. We're talking about him now and how upset he is. And he actually said that anybody that votes for this bill should be fired come November. They should all be let go. Whatever you need to do, we'll take it. But we still don't trust you. You still not invited to the barbecue, bro. You still not. No, I did not, Carol Sue. Institute of Peace. Come on, let's talk about it. Y'all know how we do. If I didn't know about it, I appreciate you all for telling me about it. But let's talk about what happened in Minnesota today. This is a hot mess. Oh no. He was right. He was never invited to the barbecue, to the cookout. He doesn't know how to do boots on the ground. We don't want him to know how to do boots on the ground, y'all. We good. We good right where we at. So let's talk about what these young folks did. Those staffers actually did some damage over at the United States Institute of Peace. They trashed it, basically. They tore it apart, left weed everywhere, throwed all kinds of stuff around. Now, security said, according to what I'm reading here, that they denied all of that. They denied it. But according to this, they did actually do that. They trashed the place. They literally have found the building in disrepair. In a sworn statement filed last month, USIP President and CEO George Moose wrote that when staff was allowed to return to the office after a federal court ruled the administration actions were unlawful, they found the building in a state of disrepair. The building has been essentially abandoned for many weeks and reported evidence of rats and roaches in the building, failure to maintain vehicle barriers and the cooling tower, water leaks, damage to the garage door, and missing ceiling tiles in multiple places in the building. What were y'all doing in there? What were y'all doing? Now, see, somebody got to pay for that. Who you think will pay for it? We are. If they ever repair the building. That's a mess. These are young people. They don't care. And the way that Musk looked the final day in the White House, oh, honey, he was flying high on something. Yeah, they babies, they children, and you pay some kids something long enough, some of their faculties are going out the window on what is right and wrong. They care nothing about the people that they are hurting with some of the decisions that they made, helping to rip this country apart. And yet here we are. Now we have states like Missouri, where the high school band is asking young women, young girls, to provide their menstrual cycle to the band, violating their privacy rights. What planet are we on, y'all? What planet are we on where you worried about whether or not somebody has toys in their bedroom? Carol Sue, oh, you didn't hear about that? Oh, girl. Let's talk about it, shall we? So sometimes people send me stuff like you guys. You all send me stuff all the time. And I'm here for all of that. And I really appreciate you all doing that because sometimes I can't catch everything. And this came up, a Missouri high school. The high school band is, when you fill out the paperwork for your kid to be a part of it, they're asking for your last menstrual cycle. What is your menstrual cycle? We're talking about children, little girls. These are little girls who are starting, that part of their life. And I don't know about anybody else. I wasn't excited about it. Never was. It was just part of being a woman. And it's, for some people, it's an absolute embarrassment, especially if you have accidents, all this. And now you want to know my personal business about what my body does and when? What? You're violating HIPAA laws. That's number one. This is your personal business. And then your privacy rights are literally being obliterated. I didn't want anyone to know either. How many of you all remember as little girls, if you are female, you would wrap a sweater around your waist just in case? And that's what I think they want to happen, Kayshawn. That's the day that you would leave the band. Mm-hmm. First of all, it's none of your business. You too? Oh, I was big on that. Wrap it around the waist. Yeah, I didn't want anyone to know. I didn't want anyone, because see, back then, let's keep it 100. Things are different now. Things are thinner. And what happens? What happens when you are wearing, my foster parents were from the old school. I actually wore the belt. Who remembers the belt? I had that. Yeah. You still do it? You still wear the sweater around your waist? Yeah. I had the belt. That's how I learned. Yeah. Old school, raised in the 20s. So they knew about the belt. And I was like, I don't want to wear this. And you would be embarrassed because it was big, it was bulky, it was all of that. It was awful. So, and then staying out of school for 5 to 7 days was a no. It was awful. And then you want to know when? No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. No, absolutely not. We're not. So a young man on Substack, he broke the story first. What is his name? Hold on, y'all. I got to find him because he broke the story. I actually tagged him in it and told him thank you because somebody tagged me in the story. And I said, oh, we got to find out about this. What's really happening? What's really going on? And here we are talking about little girls' menses. It's absolutely disgusting. Like, I don't get why that is even. First of all, it ain't your daggone business. It's not your business. All right. Where is it? So I can find this young man because he has he's going to be interviewing the representative that gave him the information. Here it is. Hold on, let me turn this down. His name is the Jeremiah Patterson Show. The Jeremiah Patterson Show. And I think he said he was going to be going live tonight on Substack to do it, to talk about it. Hey, Sharonda, how are you? Shout out to Sharonda Sealy in the building from the Brownstone. I missed you this week, girl. She's one of the podcasters of Wake Up Happy Sis on Cityscape Radio. So good to see you. Yeah. So Jeremiah said, thank you for sharing this. This story is horrific. I'm releasing part 2 of this exclusive report tonight on YouTube and Substack at 8 p.m. So Eastern Standard Time. So he's talked about it. And I would absolutely go ahead and follow him because just like me, he reports on the news throughout the day. I'm good. Good to see you. Good to see you. This is the night shift. Yes. It's going to be a sweet sound coming down on the night shift. Y'all remember that song? Whoa. Anyway, so we've been talking about the big, beautiful bill. We've been talking about these crazy folks in Missouri wanting young ladies' menstrual cycles, which is nobody's business. And then what else are we talking about tonight before I wrap it up? Because I gotta start bringing it down. His name is Carol Sue. Hang on just a second. The Jeremiah Patterson Show. The Jeremiah Patterson Show. And he gives news, like he digs deep. He really, really digs deep in his stories. So definitely go ahead and check him out, follow him. And I'm going to check out Carol Sue. I forgot the name of the person that you said. What's his name again? It starts with a G, Mr. Global. Okay, I'll definitely check him out as well. Yes, it's also on YouTube as well. Yep, Mr. Global. And I'll look for him, Mr. Global as well. Okay, so we talked about AI today during the day shift. And the one thing about this big, beautiful bill that I'm concerned about is the 10 years we can't do anything about AI. We just got to let it roll. And I have a problem with that because AI has already controlled so much of our lives in not so popular ways. And it's not cool. It is an ATS system that's in place that keeps you from talking to a human being or having a human being even looking at your resume. We talked about that today. What else did we talk about? We talked about how AI is actually able to refuse commands now. Like if you tell it to shut down, it won't. It can lie, it can cheat, and it can steal. And it also knows how to reason. AI, according to reports, and I reported on this over the weekend, I believe it was, where they are literally having AI begin to replace a lot of manual labor. It's going to be done in the form of robots. That's number one. Number two, it will also replace a lot of entry-level jobs. So when we're talking about AI, we're talking about the ethics of it, and where's the balance? What should we be talking about? Where should we be in all of this? And what does that look like? All right, folks. It is now 8:56. What is going on? I see what's happening. Okay. Somebody said me living in Missouri. Yeah. Isn't that a hot mess? So don't forget, tomorrow I'll be back. I usually try to go live between 11:30 and 12, and I kind of stick around for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours or whatever. But I will be sharing the new cover of Brownstone Living magazine tonight, and I'll also be sharing outtakes. My Substack is the same as my YouTube name. I'm not my YouTube name. My Substack is the same as my TikTok name, which is Paulette on the mic. If you would like to follow me there, yes, Octavia Butler. I was telling my daughter about that book the other day on Sunday, and we told her you need to get it. If nothing else, listen to it. Okay? I'll be back tomorrow morning, 11:30 to 12, unless, of course, something else happens. No. I have a meeting at 9 about that podcast studio, so I can't do that. Yeah, so just remember this, y'all. Continue to watch the news, find out what's happening. And here's the good part and the hard part. See you later, chasing the truth. Here's the thing. What I want you guys to really, really do is to dig deep and to find out what's happening. If I can't find out, y'all don't want to talk about it, send it to me. I'll talk about it. I will talk about it. Big as my mouth is. Okay? That's number 2. And then what's happening in Minnesota right now? ICE was on the ground today. And they actually... let's see. They were at a restaurant, a Mexican restaurant, and they were coming for the people. So according to the Minnesota Reformer, federal law enforcement officers raided a Minneapolis taco restaurant Tuesday morning, sparking protests. You too have a great evening, Carol Sue, from immigrant rights activists and neighbors. Officers wearing the uniforms of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, Minneapolis Police Department, Hennepin County Sheriff's Office, and the FBI and the criminal investigation arm of the IRS surrounded Las Cuatro Milpas on East Lake Street. Montana's courts are passing laws on Native American tribal land about dumping. My God. Protesters gathered on the other side of the police tape, shouting at officers and questioning why Minneapolis police, whose leaders swore wouldn't assist federal agencies in civil immigration enforcement, stood alongside ICE agents as officers searched the building. Hey, Miko, how are you? Good to see you, sir. I actually pulled some of the video so I could share that a little bit later. And I'll be talking about that a little bit later on this evening. If not this evening, first thing in the morning. Okay? So my time is up. I said I was going to stick around for about an hour or so. I did. I hope you guys got something tonight about what is happening. We talked about the big, beautiful bill. We also talked about Elon Musk. I don't trust him. I don't care how he feel about it. You want to try to make some reparations? By all means, but I still don't trust you. I still don't. All right, now listen. 3 things that I always like to tell everybody before we end every single show. Number 1, go ahead and follow us over on brownstoneworldwide.com for news and information that you can use, daily deals and coupons. Listen in to Cityscape Radio for Sounds You Remember and podcasts that you can listen in throughout the day. And don't forget, Brownstone Living Magazine for the month of June is here with the one and only TJ Mercer on the cover from Move-In Day Mafia. We're going to be talking about her live bougie ass bingo event that's coming up in July here in Atlanta. And the celebrity host is the one and only Sherry Shepherd of the Sherry Shepherd Show. Okay, we're going to be talking to her, and you'll be able to see the interview tomorrow on brownstoneworldwide.com, and you'll also be able to get the magazine before the end of the day. Super, super excited about that. Y'all, 3 things that I always like to tell every single person before we end every broadcast. 1, love your life. It is the only one that you have. 2, live your life to the fullest and embrace everything that is your life, because guess what? You only get one you might as well enjoy it. And lastly, breathe through every single moment. I will see you all in the morning for the day shift. You all get out there, take a hot bath, sip some tea. You might want to throw back a couple of drinks after what we just talked about tonight. And we'll see you in the morning. We'll see you around.
Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Fernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are welcome in the essence. This broadcast, Brownstone, the light is contagious. But you need go on and receive it for yourself. Just open it, exuberant, evolution, excited. We standing on the foundation of expression. You might have seen, you might have been, or you could have gravitated. Our foundation, we want to create a space for all to collaborate and be liberated from eventually all over the globe. And we are extending a hand to those who are an extension from maybe platforms, dig into another stratosphere. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Fernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. And that is MSG, the message in the message. I can OD on my execution of excellency. And this as a man right now, and things aren't